Well, today I have a serious fruit and vegetable issue. It is going to be canning madness up in here. I am ready to go gangster with the bandanas because it is on. It is hot outside where I'll be using the canner, but in the meantime I have a whole lot of tomatoes to process in 2 big baskets outside. I also have to work on freezing my 2 Black Beauty eggplants that grew. And, of course, I didn't grow those avocados, but those 3 large butternut squash, boom, out of my garden, hey! And I have all these tomatoes to get canned. So tomato soup, which I use in several dishes, including my beef stroganoff. And then I'm going to make tomato sauce, mix up my sauce. So it's going to be a big sweaty day. Tomato seeds flying. I'm going to be using imstillworkin's recipe. She has a fantastic channel on YouTube. I'm Still Workin'. No G on the end for working. Small case, like it's one word. And I'm going to start with my 3 onions. Chop them up in my Bedelia Chop Wizard. And then I'm going to add, what am I putting in here? 2 red peppers. So, then I'll show you what happens from there. But this is canning tomato soup. Yeah, in pints. In my case, for the red peppers, I'm going to use one of my pint jars of pickled red peppers that I grew in my garden from my last house. I was there 7 years and had a righteous vegetable garden. So I'm going to rinse this off, and then I'm going to also put these in my little Bedelia Chop Wizard. Got some wizardry going on. So anyway, that's what I'm going to do. But I'm going to rinse them off, get the pickling, or the preservative off of them, that was vinegar, and then I'm going to chop those. So I'm using what I have. Red peppers, people, are expensive. Buy them on sale, can them, slice them, freeze them, whatever. But get them while you can, at a low price. So that's the equivalent of 2 red peppers. With the red peppers that I canned, they're roasted red peppers. So I put them on the grill, got them charred on the outside, and then peeled the skin off. And then this is the size you put into those canning jars with your pickling or vinegar and the other stuff that goes in it. So they're completely rinsed off, and there I have preserved red peppers. Can't beat that with a cheap stick. So there's my chopped red pepper and onions, and I got my Bedelia Chop Wizard. I got it on Amazon, and I went through the lowbuckprepper.com. You don't get much, or the Low Buck Prepper doesn't get much, but it can add up over time if people use that site. He's done a lot for the YouTube community. I learned a lot from him watching his videos. Was one of the first people I subscribed to, and he does a great prepper stock every year. And he now has a new channel called Bubba's Drunken Grub, which prepare to laugh, because he's hysterical. But anyway, when I purchase things on Amazon.com, I do it through, I go to the lowbuckprepper.com, I click on the Amazon link, every little bit helps. He has a dog with, I believe it's called valley fever, which is very expensive to treat, but if you would consider, when you shop on Amazon, if you're not going through anyone now, please consider going through the lowbuckprepper.com. Very small amount, but it can add up. And he was a major YouTuber, super nice fella and wife. Of course, he's married to a wife. I just said that. But anyway, please think about going through the lowbuckprepper.com to get your things on Amazon. So I'm Still Working says put in just enough water to cover the onions and the red peppers. So I'm going to get that going. Just covering it, and then I'm going to get this on a burner at the back and just get it simmering. Don't turn on the super burner. It's a little back baby burner. Alright, so I'm going to get that simmering along to get those onions tender. So far, ain't hard. But this kitchen's fixing to explode with jars and tomato guts going through a food mill. So don't send me a private message that my kitchen's a mess, because it started out clean Now it's fixing to get popping. So I've put a large stock pot on my super burner so that I can get the water boiling, and I'll be dropping my cleaned tomatoes into here. It usually takes about maybe 1 to 3 minutes to get that skin to split. Then I'll show you when I run it through the food mill. It's big excitement. Canning tomato sauce and tomato soup. So first is tomato soup. That's what we're doing. Just so we can remember. Meet my fan. I am ready to rumble some tomatoes. This is the type of food mill that I have to run my tomatoes through. I don't have the big Vittorio or anything, but this absolutely positively works. So after I get the skins off my tomatoes, I'll be running them through this little food mill. Use what you got. Gator done. Because my tomatoes are so big, I'm going to cut them in half. They're extremely large before I drop them into my boiling water and my food mill. Because my food mill's just a little itty bitty person. So anywho, can't do it wrong. And then I'm going to drop them into my boiling water. Make sure I get out any green parts or bad parts. So, whoop, there it is. Can't mess it up. It's just canning, just tomatoes. Soup. So I'm boiling my tomatoes there quickly, and as you can see, the skins are starting to slip, so that'll make it easier to go through my food mill that I have set up here in the sink, and then my discards will be here, and then I'll keep processing that. Nothing but a party over here. So here is the ones I've pulled out of the boiling water and the skin's slipping off. Now I'm going to work them through this food mill, put the junk there. Food mill, from here to the food mill, not good stuff there. It's processed, peeps, and I got my Fred's $14 fan at my back. Feeling good about it, feeling good. That's about as much as it can handle. It's just a little food mill. I'll go the other way, and you can see it working through at the bottom. Works good, cheap but good, sweat propelled. I am on my third large pot, and look, I'm trying some new ones. Look how beautiful these are. They're a big yellow heirloom tomato, and they're pink and stuff inside, but there's lots of red ones at the bottom. So I'm just trying something different. Woot. See the carnage. This is that huge Tupperware bowl I have. I've already gotten all of the liquid, as you see it slowly come back, and run it back through my food mill. So I have my carnage pile there. This is my largest Magnolite pot, and it is full. So I've cleaned out my stock pot that I was boiling my tomatoes in, and I'm going to place that in there. Or I'm going to have my husband do it, because that's beyond me. So, here are all the other pieces of my tomatoes. So my compost pile is fixing to get hit and hit hard. It's going to love it. So now I get to actually make the tomato sauce and the tomato soup. Woo! Long time. Took forever. So the pot on the left is going to be my tomato sauce, or sauce. So I got to cook that. This is going to be my tomato paste, and my onion red pepper mixture is finished. So I'll get these both to cooking away, and then the canning fun will begin, like a mad scientist. Oh yeah. So I have my 1999 Cuisinart food processor, and I put in my onion and red pepper mixture in this, as I'm still working's directions said to do. Pulverized it around. Now I'm going to add it to the pot that I'm making the tomato soup in. So now I'm mixing, this is for my tomato soup, 3/4 cups of sugar and 8 tablespoons of clear gel. And you cannot use cornstarch when you're canning, but you can use clear gel. You can get it from S as in Sarah, B as in boy, canning, CANNING.com. She has a great Facebook canning page. So I try to get my clear gel through her. And when I get it, it's in sort of tiny Mylar bags, sometimes thinner. I then put it into one of my quart jars and I seal it with my food saver attachment. Then when I'm ready to add this, my soup is not boiling yet. Like my gravy, I have to wait till it's at a rolling boil. And to this, I'll then be adding 3 tablespoons of white vinegar. I'm going to be adding enough to make a little paste is what I'm doing. So I may have to add water to it after that vinegar, but I'm going to make sure this sugar and this very light powdery clear gel is totally incorporated, and then I have to wait for my soup to come to a rolling boil. I'm very excited to have more canned tomato soup. I've never run out before like I did this year, but stuff happens. So stir away. Incorporate. So my tomato soup is starting to boil, so I'm going to add in the vinegar. I'm going to mix this around. Let me get a hand whisk. A little one. And then I need to do enough water to make a paste, just like when I make a regular gravy. So basically this here is a slurry for our soupness. So let's see how it goes. I don't know. A little bit of agua. There we go. Ooh, smell the vinegar. Alright, so then I'll be pouring, if I can speak, I will be pouring this, I'm going to do some more, into my tomato soup pot while it's boiling, just like you do when you're making a gravy. You don't want to pour in there when it's not boiling. So this seems like a good mix right here, and I just have to incorporate it more. It's not like milk, it's thicker. So, we'll see what happens. And then the canning begins. And I have to use the pressure canner and the water bath inside because we have heavy, gusty winds outside. So, I got my $14 Fred's fan going. I got my fan over my stove going. Stuff is blowing. Sucking, blowing, working it out. Long day here. Good golly, it's over. 3, 6, 8 pints of tomato soup. 3, 6, 9, 10 of tomato sauce. That was 4 huge baskets, well, 3 huge baskets of tomatoes. That was tiring. Holy schmoly. Canning is hard work, but this stuff is gonna be fantastic. So get your mad scientists off, can your own, save a whole lot of money. And guess what? You know what you're eating. That's a bonus. Mouse toes out.